Welcome to the 19th installment in Trading Strategy Guide's Trading Education Series. Today I'm going to talk about the MT4 Toolbar. Hang out with me a bit. Hi, this is Tim from TradingStrategyGuides.com. Thanks for coming back for this installment of our Trading Education Series. I hope you guys caught the Dream Trades event with Casey Stubbs last Friday. I'm pretty excited about this thing. The trade strategy meshes really well with my own stock trading strategy that you guys see in the trading picks. So I'll be applying some of that to our trade picks videos in the future. In today's video, I'm going to talk a bit about the MT4 Toolbar. Just the same as with TradingView, this video is not sponsored by MetaTrader, so as before, what you will hear is my unvarnished opinion. So here we go. MetaTrader's toolbar is kind of handy and kind of annoying at the same time. It's split into 4 parts, each of which is completely customizable, including the fact that you can move each of the 4 parts anywhere on the MT4 window you want. Just grab the little handle, drag it down here and drop it, or pin it to the side, or pin it to the bottom, or pin it to the other side, just whatever makes you happy. This is what makes me happy. Each of the 4 toolbars, which I'll go over in more detail shortly, can be moved anywhere. The annoying part is that once in a while they take it upon themselves to move on their own. Oh, I don't mean they just jump up and start flying around the screen or anything, but when you resize your window and that sort of thing, sometimes they decide that they don't like their location and they go somewhere else. So I'm not sure I could actually demonstrate that, but it's just a thing to deal with periodically. Another nice thing though is you can shut these off. So you right click on it and select one of the 4 toolbars and you can shut it off that simply, or turn it back on just like that. Now I typically leave the toolbars in their default positions because, well, I'm old and I don't like change. That's not actually true. I like change sometimes, but when I'm trading, I definitely don't want to have to go searching for the tool I need in the moment. So let's talk about the first toolbar. It is called the standard toolbar, and I'm pretty sure I've left this pretty much in the default configuration here. Truthfully, I copy my setup from instance to instance of MT4, so I don't remember if this is the default configuration or not. I'll show you how to copy your setups in a later MT4 video because it's a very handy tool. So let's start on this toolbar. The leftmost button is the new chart button. You click on that, you select whatever symbol that you want to look at, and you click and you've got a new chart just like that. I'm going to close this one for right now because it's really, really bright. Next button is the profile button. This is where you can save your overall layout, which includes all the charts, indicators, lines, experts, and even the location of each chart with respect to the others. This is a handy tool, especially if you use a lot of different strategies like I do. So you can select Save Profile. It will save whatever your profile is. Right now I have these 4 charts and I can give it a name. Let's call it 4 charts and click OK. Now anytime I change this setup, I can select 4 charts and it will come back to this particular setup. The next button is the Market Watch button. This is kind of handy. One thing I really like to use this for is, you see this time up here? This is the actual platform time. Now I'm in North Texas, which is on Central US time, and it's 5 p.m. on Monday. I can look up here and I can see that my platform time is approaching 1 a.m. So I know that my time is 7 hours behind the chart time. So that's a handy thing to know. Also, it shows you all of the bid-ask on all of the symbols on your platform. When you first open up an MT4 platform, it sometimes does not show all the symbols available. So what you can do is open up this Market Watch window, right-click on it, and select Show All, and that will get all the symbols available to you from your broker on this particular platform. Now you can move the Market Watch window and any of the other windows that we look at just by grabbing the title bar and moving it wherever you want. Again, this will snap to any of the sides, top or bottom, however you like it. When you want to close it, you can either click the little X or you can click on the button again. The next button is the data window. This will show you the details of the market at your current cursor location. Again, you can move this window anywhere you like. The next button is the navigator window. I use this button quite a bit because it shows me all the indicators, all the expert advisors, all the scripts that are available to me. It also shows my account information right here. This is the demo account I set up last week. This is a really useful window, and I'll talk a little bit more about it in a future video. The next button is the terminal window, and this one I use a lot. Now the handy thing about the terminal window is you can actually move this obviously anywhere you want on the MT4 window, but you can also move it off the MT4 window. I'm going to squeeze my MT4 window up just a little bit here so you guys can see exactly what I'm talking about. See, this window is totally independent of the other window. So you can move this to another monitor if you like, and it shows your balances, your open trades, your current exposure on whatever symbols you're trading, your account history, news, alerts, mailbox, market information, trade signals, articles, expert log, and your journal. So this is a very useful window. I keep this open most of the time on my active trade windows. The next button is the strategy tester button. Now this is an interesting function. This allows you to backtest an expert advisor. Now in my experience it leaves a lot to be desired. We have run this extensively on strategies that we wanted to test, and we could run at 2 simultaneous times and get 2 wildly different results from it without changing any of the parameters, which should not be the case. Plus, it's possible that often a lot of data is missing from the data set that your broker is providing. So there are just a lot of issues with this. Now, I haven't used this really in a lot of years, so it's possible that there are improvements about which I'm unaware, but be careful with it if you decide to try to use it. The next button is the new order button. If you want to open an order on the current market, click here and an order window appears. This is not a modal window. This window will also reside outside of the MetaTrader window. So this is also handy. You can do things like change charts or do all sorts of things and leave this window open. So that's really handy if you're preparing to take a trade and you're just waiting for the signal. You'll always have it out ready to enter your trade when the time comes. We'll talk more about doing orders in a future video. And the last button on this toolbar is the auto trading button. If you're using a trade robot or an expert advisor, this button will have to be pressed to allow the robot to take live trades on the platform. So if you get an error message on a trading robot, check and make sure that your auto trading is enabled and you have the little green mark right there. Now you can right click on this toolbar and select Customize, and you can see these are all the available buttons you can put on the toolbar, and these are the buttons that exist on the toolbar, so you can add or remove things to your heart's content. I'm not gonna go into much detail about these. Some of them are handy, but I don't really use most of these on the regular anymore. MetaEditor is where you can actually write MQL4 code for programming your own indicators and so on. I used to use that a lot. I don't use it so much anymore, so I removed it from the toolbar. There are other ways to get to that. And you can arrange these any way you like. The next toolbar is known as the Charts toolbar, and that would be this one right here. Again, it has the handle on it. You can move it anywhere you like. Again, I like it up here because I know where to find it when I need it in a hurry. Now, I may have customized this one a bit, but as you know, you can right click on the toolbar and select Customize, and these are the tools that are available to you over here, and these are the ones that are already on the toolbar. I recommend that you experiment with these setups. Just be sure you do it with a demo account so you don't accidentally open a huge trade and lose a bunch of money. Why, no, I've never done that. Okay, so the first three buttons over here represent the type of chart you'll see. The first is an old style bar chart. I've never really liked these, and the reason is because it's way less obvious to me where the entry is and where the exit is for each of these bars. So that's the reason why I use candles, because they, I don't know, maybe it's my old eyes. I just find them easier to look at and easier to understand. And the third one is a good old line chart. Now, I have the colors messed up, so you probably can't see the line. Yeah, line graph black. Let's change this to a white. There you go. There's a line chart. I should probably save screen real estate and remove these buttons, since I use candles 99.99% of the time, which is actually 100% of the time, but never say always, right? The next two buttons that look like magnifying glasses, because clicking on them increase and decrease the density of the candles. So I do change the density of the candles periodically. If I want to see a lot, I'll shrink them up as much as they'll go. That's as much as they'll shrink up right there. Or you can expand them out to that big, and so it's handy to be able to do that. Of course, TradingView lets me use my mouse scroll wheel for that, so I'm a little bit spoiled over that. The next button arranges all your charts into a matrix so you can see several at a time. I've added a couple of about 3 extra charts here so you can see exactly how this works. Then if you want to see this chart full screen, just click on the expand window or maximize window button. Now the next button, when it's depressed, and it is right now, will make sure that the chart is completely scrolled to where the very latest bar is showing right here. Okay? If you want to go back and look at historical data, you have to make sure that this is not clicked. So you can drag your chart and look at old data like so. If you click this, it will jump back to the very latest bar. I leave that on unless I'm doing some kind of analysis that requires me to look at past data. The next button, when depressed, will move your chart to the left so that there's some free screen over here on the right. Now I like that because when I program indicators, I'll put the information over here on the right and it doesn't interfere with the chart data when I do that. If you like to see your whole window filled up with candles, then you can do it like that. Now you can adjust this. You see this little triangle right here. When this is clicked, you can grab this little triangle and move it, and it will increase or decrease the amount of space between the right hand side of the chart and the most recent candle. So that's a handy feature. The next button you use to add an indicator to the chart. Well, it's one way to add an indicator. I showed you the navigator over here. You can add an indicator from there, or you can click here and select your indicator from here. The reason I use the navigator is because I have so many custom indicators that it would take me forever to scroll through all of them to find the one that I'm looking for. So I use the navigator because it's just a little bit more organized for me. The next button allows you to select your time frame. Now that does exactly the same thing as this toolbar right here, so I could probably remove that because I always use this little toolbar to select my time frame. And lastly, for this toolbar is the chart template button. Now here is where you save the setup of an individual chart so that you don't have to redo the same setup on all of your other charts. This will save the colors, indicators, experts, drawing elements, whatever on your chart. Then you can apply that to another chart of a different symbol or a time frame. Just keep in mind that many of the drawing elements won't be valid on another symbol chart. So I typically try not to save chart templates with the drawings on them unless it's for backup purposes. But here's an example. If I want to look at the Bollinger Band strategy, I hate looking at this much grid. It's too hard to see the candles. But it gives you an idea. Here's the Bollinger Bands and a standard deviation and an ATR. I can always switch back to demo, which is what I had it on earlier. Now you'll notice on this Bollinger Bands that this grid is really bright. That's easy to change, and I'm going to get into that sort of thing in a future video. Show you how to change the colors of the candles and the indicators and all that sort of thing. Okay, that's all I'm going to cover for this video. I suggest you open a demo account and play with the MT4 platform a bit and see what you can do with it. Actually, I think it's pretty awesome, especially since it's free. Next week, I plan to go over the other toolbars, the menu, the chart properties setup, if there's time. Look for that next Wednesday. And don't miss my Trading Picks videos on Fridays and Mondays right here at Trading Strategy Guides YouTube channel at 3 p.m. U.S. Eastern Time. Be sure to subscribe and hit the bell so you'll be notified when these videos come out. Have a great Wednesday, and I'll see you with a new trading pick on Friday.